Good afternoon, everybody. These are your wonderful Centurion teachers, and we miss you. So today we're going to talk, this is our first of our weekly Zoom meetings. We're going to chat about some questions you guys have had and sent in, as well as just let you know how things are going. So the first thing that I want to mention is for me, I just want to remind you guys to talk with your friends, remind them about the websites that we're going to, how to access things, because we know not every student has access to electronic devices, but some of your friends and you at least Snapchat. So ask your friends, share it. Hey, have you guys gotten onto anything at school? If they haven't, maybe you can guide them. Otherwise, have them email us. The next thing is on Tuesdays, we will be sending a team email. You all should have gotten that this morning. But in there, we're going to have instructions on how to access the Remind, how to access the Flipgrid, which again, that'll all be out there earlier, but this is also for you and your parents. I'm sending one separate email for students and one to parents. So that way everybody's informed with everything. Email us or any of the teachers if you have questions, but with my homework, I know it's a little difficult to understand. So when you do get homework for me, you can put everything on one page and send it. Otherwise, just send it to me individually, that's fine. If you send me everything individually, I will get over 400 emails. So don't expect me to send everything back and comment on everything. I will do my best. And, but unless you hear from me saying it's horrible, just know that it's A+, okay? And then the other thing is CNN 10. I know Mrs. Richards and myself show CNN 10 fifth hour, and I think other teachers try. But it's a great way to keep up with the news, so you know what's going on in the world today. We used to have great conversations with that. I did send a link on Remind for that also. And I think that's it for now for me. So I am going to go ahead and flop it over to Miss Ferguson, right? Okay.
Yes. Hi, guys. I don't know if you saw me using my eyes to tell my son that we were recording. We would love to hear from you. If you have questions, you can, we're going to start a Flipgrid questions section that's going to be on there soon, and you can leave a question there so that we can respond to you, or you can email any one of us and we can answer your questions on this podcast each week. So if you have something you'd like to ask us, or maybe even just tell us, let us know, and we can try to include it in our weekly podcast. Your turn.
Cool. Hello, everyone.
Sorry, it's Lizzie's turn.
That's okay. So I hope you've gotten off to a good start with all of the things and academic things you're doing this week. A few things I wanted to talk about was, I'm reading from a list on my screen, so you'll see me looking over there. But if you haven't signed up for Khan Academy, make sure that you have already done that. And if you're having any problems with that, I can actually make an account for you and just let you know what your username and password is or are. And initially, when you do sign up and join my class at first, you won't see any assignments. So I have to go in and make sure that I save the assignments for your account. So you might want to check back within an hour or two just to make sure that those are popping up. And if not, let me know. Also, make sure you're using your real first name and last name. We actually did have LeBron James join our Khan Academy class last night, but unfortunately, I found out it was not LeBron James. So I was a little sad. So I was thinking I would, get to teach him math, but whatever. I don't know what he's doing with his time now because the NBA's, not playing any games anyways. And then if you have any questions along the way, just let me know. Email me. I've already gotten a few emails to try to get back to them within a day, but normally I can get back to them a little quicker. And then the suggested timeline that you see at the top of that document is just a suggestion. If you wanted to go faster than that, or if you can't go as fast, maybe you need to go a little bit slower, that is fine. If you get through it all and you want more things to do, let me know and I can give you some additional things to try. Okay, thanks. On to you, Mr. Nooch.
Awesome. I'm going to focus on technology and login stuff, guys. First of all, anytime that you have an opportunity to log in with your Microsoft account, your Office 365 login, that's your student number at paplv.org, and the password that you created in Mrs. Hunt's class at the beginning of the year, use that. Anytime you see that button that says log in with Microsoft, click there. Newsela, Quizalize, Flipgrid, all of those platforms use Microsoft login. So always use that. That allows you to use the same email and password for all of your logins. Makes it a lot simpler, especially when we're all using so many different resources. One problem that one of our families had ran into, and I'm sure other families have ran into to this point, is having multiple students in a family trying to access some similar resources. For example, Newsella. If you have a student in 5th grade that is also using Newsella, and then you try to get on as a 7th grader, depending on how your browser settings are set up, it might automatically log your sibling into your Newsella class. So your sibling's name may appear in Mrs. Richards' class or my class for our science Newsella. So one easy way to work around that is to use 2 separate browsers for each sibling. So Johnny, your little brother, can use Internet Explorer or whatever, I think is Explorer Edge now. And you can use Google Chrome. And then your older sibling, if you have one, could also use Firefox. So just kind of using different browsers, then that browser may remember your login information, but it's not going to remember your siblings' information because they're not using that browser. So just be careful with that. If you do run into any of those problems, just email me or that teacher directly, and we can either delete that student from the class roster or change their name. We can get that figured out. That being said, I am more than willing to reach out and do a Zoom call with any of you to help guide you through some of this login stuff. You might be just putting your information in the wrong spot or clicking the wrong button, or there might be a setting that we need to change. And each one of those scenarios is kind of unique to your computer, your browser, and your login info. So I would be willing to do that. I actually did that this morning with Lily Sherman and her mom, and it worked really well. So I would do that for you guys. One thing specifically I wanted to talk about today was, that's a video I'm making that we're going to use later. This Padlet. This is the grade 7 remote learning Padlet. This is the Padlet that you guys are going to be working off of for the rest of the year. The other Padlet that had all the crazy stuff on it was kind of the in-between Padlet, but this is where we're going to be. And this is what you want to click on, is Papillion Middle School Padlet. Over here, you might see a login or sign in button. You do not need to sign in or log in to this website. All you need to do is go to your subject area and click on your school. So I'm going to click on Science 7 for Papillion Middle School, and it's going to take you to our blend space, is what we call it. This is simply just a platform that we can drop any sort of file onto. We've tried to really simplify ours. So you can see that we have the links here. Again, it says log in or sign up. You do not need to log in or sign up or create an account for this. All you need to do is navigate through these tiles. So for example, for science, for our Quizalize, you would just click on here and then just follow these directions. Click on this link, enter this code, and you should be good to go. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to me on Remind, email me, and we can figure out a way to get you set up so that you can get your work done. Thank you to all of you that already have put in work for science. We're going to have some other stuff coming out next week, and we'll keep getting things better as we go. To Mrs. Richards.
Hello, Centurions. I miss you.
What did
She did not want to be up here. Centurion, thank you for logging in. Mrs. Sis and I appreciate the ELA assignments that you've completed. My suggestion would be, please make sure that you click on the Centurion site. Several of you have clicked and are now Crusaders or Champions. It's come up on their site. So just make sure you're a Centurion. We want to keep you. And Mrs. Sis is going to talk more about Newsella. So go ahead, Mrs. Sis.
Hey guys, we miss you bunches. Hey, for the ELA Newsella site, like Mrs. Richards said, great job for those of you that have already responded. Very impressed with your paragraphs or your responses to the question that they're asking you. There is an annotation section, and some of you have figured out how to do that. If you're not using a computer, you probably won't be able to do the annotations, which is fine. Just if you are on a computer, please try to complete those because it's just exactly what we've been practicing all year in the classroom. So that would be awesome if you could do that. Also on the right part, we see a lot of you are taking the quizzes. So that's great, but there's also the right part for those of you that haven't completed that. It's a little box over to the right-hand side of your screen that says write. If you click on that, you can just type your response right in that box. Mrs. Richards and I are splitting the articles each week, so we will be responding to, instead of us responding to all 5 articles, she's gonna do 2, I'm gonna do 2, and we'll probably split the 5th story. So if you see us both responding on yours, we're splitting those up each week. So great job with, like I said, the insights that some of you have provided are awesome, and love to see those from you guys. So keep that up. Ms. Hunt?
Okay. You can see all of us are kind of writing on the sides, taking notes. So a recap, because I have to do that. You guys know me well enough. So the easiest way, again, to access all of our links, we've tried to make it easy. Mrs. Mullins has put them all in one place every week, rather than trying to figure out all of these places that the district has sent. We tried to make that easier. All of us are very happy that you have reached out to us that have. That means that you're comfortable talking to us, that we've built a relationship, and we're very, very happy about that and proud of you. We hope everybody's safe and healthy. It is kind of crazy right now. I know my mind's going crazy just sitting here without talking because I love to talk. Let me see, what else was I going to say? Oh, on Thursdays, our principal's going to do a meeting, the 2 of them together, and broadcast it, I think, on Facebook, but it'll be recorded. I don't even know what it's going to be like, but I urge you to go on and take a peek at that. The one reason I'm glad you guys aren't at school tomorrow is because it's April Fool's Day. And so we don't have to have any fun jokes against us, but make sure if you play any pranks on your family, let us know. We'll be excited to hear what they are. And then those of you that are in my my study hall, this guy right here, can you see him? Mr. Schieffer, he said to make sure he tells everybody hi and what's up, kid. That's what he said. I'm sure you guys will know what he's saying. Anyway, that's it. We can't wait to hear from you, to answer your questions. And I think, are y'all done? Anybody else have anything to say?
Help name my canary
Yeah.
Oh, name the canaries.
on the flip grid.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.